the Japanese concept that can change your life. Kaizen, the power of small improvements. Hello, today, I'd like to share a way of thinking that many Japanese people grow up with, often without even realizing it. It is called Kaizen. The word Kaizen means continuous improvement. Over the years, this idea has spread around the world and has been studied by businesses, schools, athletes, and successful people in many different fields. But in Japan, Kaizen is more than a business strategy. It is a way of looking at life. And if you have ever struggled to stay motivated, build good habits, or achieve your goals, this simple idea may help you more than you expect. Chapter 1. Why is change so difficult? Have you ever made a promise to yourself? Maybe you wanted to exercise more, read more books, learn a new language, save money, or build a better life. At first you feel excited, you create a plan, you feel motivated, you imagine the person you want to become, but after a few days or weeks, something happens, you become tired, busy, distracted, and slowly you stop. Many people believe this happens because they lack discipline. But that is not always true. In fact, there is another reason. Your brain naturally resists change. For thousands of years, human beings survived by being careful. Anything new could be dangerous. A new place, a new food, a new habit. Because of this, our brains developed a preference for familiarity. Your brain wants to save energy. It wants to stay comfortable. And that is why lasting change often feels difficult. Chapter 2. The mistake most people make. Imagine two people who both want to improve their lives. The first person decides to completely transform overnight. He will wake up at 5 a.m., exercise every day, study for 3 hours, read a book every week, eat only healthy food. His plan looks perfect. For a few days, everything goes well, but soon, reality appears. He gets tired. He misses one day, then another, and before long, the entire plan disappears. This happens to millions of people every year. Not because they are weak, but because they tried to change too much at once. Chapter 3. The Japanese answer. This is where Kaizen comes in. Kaizen does not ask you to change your entire life today. Instead, it asks a simple question. What is one small thing you can improve today? Not tomorrow, not next year. Today. Maybe you read 1 page instead of 100. Maybe you learn 1 new word. Maybe you walk for 5 minutes. Maybe you organize 1 small corner of your room. These actions may seem insignificant, but Kaizen is not about making a huge change in a single day. It is about creating a habit that you can continue. Because what continues grows, and what grows eventually changes everything. Chapter 4. A story about 2 young men. Let me tell you a simple story. 2 young men wanted to become successful. The first young man believed success required massive effort. Every day, he pushed himself to the limit. He worked harder than everyone else, but eventually, he became exhausted. The pressure became too much, and he quit. The second young man took a different approach. He improved a little each day, just a little. Sometimes only a few minutes, sometimes only 1 small step. People around him barely noticed. But he continued. 1 month became 6 months. 6 months became a year became several years. Eventually, he had built skills, knowledge, and experience that seemed impossible to others. The difference was not talent. The difference was consistency, and consistency was made possible by small improvements. Chapter 5. Why Japan has so many masters of their craft. Visitors to Japan often notice something unusual. There are sushi chefs who spend decades perfecting their skills, craftsmen who dedicate their entire lives to one profession, artisans who continue improving even after 40 or 50 years of experience. Many people ask, why do they keep doing the same thing? But from their perspective, they are not doing the same thing. Every day they search for a small improvement, a slightly better technique, a slightly better movement, a slightly better result. Yesterday's work becomes today's lesson. Today's work becomes tomorrow's improvement, year after year. These tiny changes create extraordinary mastery. This is Kaizen in action. Chapter 6. Why the world began studying Kaizen. The idea of Kaizen became famous outside Japan because it works. Many people dream about dramatic transformations, a new life overnight, instant success, rapid results, but real growth rarely happens that way. A tree does not become tall in one day. A building is not completed in 1 hour. A strong body is not built in a week. The most powerful changes are often the slowest. Kaizen teaches us to respect that process. Small improvements may look insignificant, but over time, they become powerful. Chapter 7. Trusting growth you cannot yet see. One of the hardest parts of Kaizen is patience. When you improve by only a small amount each day, the results are difficult to see. After one day, nothing seems different. After 1 week, the change still feels small. Sometimes you may wonder if your efforts matter at all. But think about planting a seed. The day after you plant it, nothing appears to happen. Yet beneath the surface, roots are growing. The work is happening where you cannot see it. Personal growth works the same way. Many important changes happen long before they become visible. The people who succeed are often the people who continue during this invisible stage. Chapter 8. A Japanese saying. There is a Japanese saying, Kizaku wa chikara nari. It means, continuing is power. The meaning is simple. Consistency creates strength. Many people admire talent. Many people admire genius. But behind most success stories, there is something less exciting. Repetition, practice, patience, small improvements made over and over again. Kaizen reminds us that greatness is often built from ordinary actions repeated consistently. Chapter 9. What can you do today? You do not need a perfect plan. You do not need extraordinary motivation. You do not need to change your entire life. Start small. Read 1 page. Learn 1 word. Take a short walk. Write 1 sentence. Do 1 push-up. Choose something so small that it feels impossible to fail. Then do it again tomorrow. And the day after that. Over time, those small actions become habits. And habits become part of who you are. Final chapter. The step that changes everything. If you forget everything else from today's video, remember this. Life is rarely changed by 1 huge decision. More often, it is changed by thousands of small decisions. A small improvement today, another tomorrow, and another after that. Each step may seem insignificant, but together, they create a path. A path that can lead somewhere completely different from where you are today. That is why Kaizen remains one of the most powerful ideas in Japanese culture. Not because it promises instant success, but because it reminds us that even the smallest step forward still moves us forward. And sometimes, that is all we need. Thank you for listening.